You know, if you know anything about Wings of Redemption, you know that he gets trolled a lot. He cannot get on any type of multiplayer game without getting the balls trolled off of him. But I'll tell you what right now, I don't think Jordy expected his own his own community members, his own neighbors to start trolling him too. And that's where we're at right now, ladies and gentlemen. Jordy Jordan, Richard Jordan, whatever you want to call him, Wingo as I prefer. Some I guess a guy who lives up the street from him did an interview with people who, like, I don't know how they got this interview out of the guy, but he claims on footage that they like tricked him with money and all this different shit. But he did an interview where he says all this weird shit about Jordy's family, and you know, usually you can tell that Wings is lying out of his ass on things, but somehow Wings gets this guy in his room for a live stream, and you can tell this dude's he's trying to backtrack on everything. So let's jump in and see what he said.
So, for those of you who don't know there, I'm trying to nip this in the bud early. A video came out today that said some slanderous things. And it's got my whole family in an uproar because most of it's pure T lies. And this is the guy that's going to be in the video. So we're going to play the video for you guys. We're going to play the audio of the video. Let you guys hear what's said. And then we're going to address this conversation.
Pretty much his whole life. Yeah, I live right down the street from him. He only stays like 2 roads over from me. My mother and his mother were still friends, so I was all over there, you know, once, twice a month on the weekends, or 2 to 3 times a week. Yeah, we stayed over a lot because my mother figured since there was 2 boys there that I'd have somebody to play with, you know, type shit. But we ended up being friends, me and Kenneth, more than me and Jordy, because Jordy's kind of a fucking bully. All right, so I do a lot of YouTube, and it came to my attention fairly recently, within the past year.
So a few things to talk about here. Number one, Wings can't hear what the audio is saying. Only the guy can because he has headphones on. Number two, Kenneth is Wings' older brother. And number three, when this guy says, you know, Jordy was a bully and all this, I'm pretty sure we all already know that. But I'm almost positive in the context this dude's talking about, like, he's talking about, like, old days. Like, fucking probably before they were even in, like, grade school. Just based off the tone of how he's saying it, like, you know, back then, you know, Jordy was a bully. That's just how I take it. And how he explains it, I guess that is where he was going with this.
This first thing should be the sister stuff,
yeah,
right?
no, it was talking about you being a bully. I wanted to clarify on that. More like we went and hung out together. Most of the time we were playing video games. Kind of
How old were we?
Very young.
5,
talking
6?
Like 6 to 10 or 11, I think.
When he was 11, it was probably younger than that.
Probably young. And he takes his video games very seriously, and I never really had the opportunity to play much console gaming. So, you know, Jordy would win a lot and a lot and a lot, and then whenever I didn't want to.
Yeah, but when you use the term bully, they take it in a broad context. Thank you, Mario Luigi.
Exactly.
But like, I've never been a bully in my life. Would you agree with that? Like
no,
bullying
not
people?
not like coming straight out and being bullyish to somebody.
Whatever. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck. What? I mean, I'll agree to the fact that, you know, I've always took video games seriously. And I've always been a sore loser.
Yeah.
But like, I've never been a person that would go to a school or out in public and bully somebody.
Not like bully in that context. That's why I wanted to stop it there. I meant more like we'd play a bunch of games, spam a bunch of games of, like, say, Mortal Kombat or something. I would lose every game, so then I wouldn't be interested in playing anymore, but play video games. So kind of felt like he was being, you know, aggressive with it.
So in short, the words you just heard this man utter on the call were taken way out of context. You know, when he said bullying, when Wings was a huge bully, all he meant was that Wings would beat him all the time at Mortal Kombat, you know? It just when I think of, back in the day, my older cousins kicking my ass in Madden, I think back and just go, those fucking bullies, man. They bullied the shit out of me. Like, it's terrible. But, this dude already is flopping like a fish. He is just, you can see it in his eyes. He is in fear right now. And he's in a situation, I don't know how he got himself into this, why he agreed to do this. It's Wings. At the end of the day, if you're gonna talk all this shit about Wings, at least be man enough to say it to his fucking face, because he's Wings. Like, what's he gonna do? But yeah, this dude is folding like an accordion already, and it's only gonna get worse as this goes on. So strap in, because it gets a lot more cringe.
This is not my brother. This is Aaron. Aaron is my mother's friend's son.
Mm-hmm. And I will say this as well before we start. This was a 4-hour long conversation that I did not agree to recording. And they asked me specific questions about topics from Jordy, PKA, to other people that were in the YouTube community. A lot of this stuff that's said and clipped out in this very video was stuff that was nothing to do with Jordy at all. So, that being said, we'll continue.
I swear, man, I lose it when you see the face Wings makes after this guy says that it was a 4-hour fucking phone call. And then he proceeds to say, they were talking about other YouTubers too. I don't know what this dude thought this was. Like, if someone called him for an interview, I don't know. But this is just fucking wacky. The fact that Wings' own neighbor is conspiring with the trolls to kind of give him a little more ammo on old Wings. And it's like I said, man, this just gets weirder and weirder as it goes on.
That Jordy was being trolled, and at first I was like, kind of went to the defense of the guy because I know him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it was like little things that I would hear through my mother interacting with his mother and knowing his brother and people that hang out with him and his sister. I know his sister well. Things started pinging in my ears that was like, this shit's real, and he really does. It's not an act, but it is. For me, and what made me reach out, really.
All right, what I was referring to there was clipped out of context. They asked me a question about, when I said that this shit's real and all of that, they asked me a question about whether or not you were acting as a character or if this was actually your personality. And I was like, well, in my opinion, this is a character that he plays on the stream and on the PKA, and a lot of the stuff doesn't match his personality. But then little things here and there do kind of shine through. That's what I was getting at. But they put it in there and then to try and infer that maybe this some type of allegation or whatever, that they're talking about a rumor. When I was talking about a rumor, I was talking about a rumor about you working at Met Glass.
This shit is real, according to this guy. He's going to say a lot here that it was clipped out of context. And like I said, maybe it is, but a lot of this stuff is like, there's very specific context for this. But I already brought it up, but you really see this guy like in real time, just going through it right now. He's trying to bullshit Wings so hard. Like, I don't even know what he's saying at this point. Like, something about rumors, something about, I was actually saying that you are not all that. And, it seems like what he's about to get into is saying, like, my mother, I heard weird things about their family. This dude went pretty in-depth with just some random-ass people who called him over the phone.
About some issue that had happened where maybe you had injured yourself or had some type of a physical thing that limited you from continuing to work at Met Glass. That's the rumor I was talking about, but they clipped all of this extra stuff in here.
You talking about where I fell off the melter?
Yes.
How's that a rumor?
I thought it was a rumor because I didn't know for sure. I heard through my mom.
It was in the newspaper.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff is just and absolute bullshit, bro.
And the Megalast thing is the 2008 housing crash happened. I got laid off.
Right.
And I started doing YouTube. Continue.
Is the rumors about because there was rumors going around through the family about possible sexual assault on his sister.
What? Say it again, Wings.
Don't
Yeah.
feel ashamed if you got to jerky shit to your sister.
He had either said I believe that he said something extremely inappropriate, and when he was called on it when she confronted him about what he had said, he said that he didn't care what he said because
Now, right here, this dude just jumps right out with it and says that he's heard like allegations of SA within Wings' family. I guess that's what he was talking about when he said he heard from his mother. But I mean, they pointed out right there in this call, Wings did say some like really creepy comment about his sister, and as I think they're about to get into, the sister was mad about it at the time and called Jordy on it, and just. You know, this is the one time the guy might not be bullshitting, because, I mean, shit, man, if that Jordy said that on PKA, so, I mean, it's made the rounds in years since, so that I could obviously see that putting, like, a divide between you and your sister, because who the fuck says that about their sister? Joking or not, it's just a weird fucking comment to make, so if that's what he was referring to, I kind of understand it, because Wings have blatantly said that, and, you know, that's just some type of stuff that might get around in the family. I don't know. Just like I said, you can tell when the dude's bullshitting, but some of this, when they throw the like little proof in there, you kind of scratch your head and go, oh, maybe it was true.
Now, this was a completely different person I was talking about in the conversation.
No, it wasn't. You know damn well this was not a different person you were talking about. Just the look on his face when he's like, wait a minute now, this was a completely different person. As this call goes on, you'll see more of how this dude just bullshits.
Because they were trying to bring up that age of consent, and they knew that he had a younger sister, and they were trying to say all this stuff about him with this molesting his sister, supposedly, or whatever the hell they wanted to try and spin there. And what I was talking about was another fella that I know, James, that legitimately had problems with that same issue.
Stop you right there, because Taylor wants to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Because she's upset as hell.
Yeah.
I think it's in your best interest because she's mad.
Right.
So I'm gonna call her.
Now, I'm sorry, this part gets me. I love how this dude tries to say, no, Wings, we weren't talking about you. We're talking about my friend James, who just happens to be in this exact predicament that I'm accusing you of like, I guess, you know, doing weird shit to your little sister. Like, what the fuck? This dude is trying to backtrack on everything he said in this phone call. It's painful to watch. And now Wings is about to call his sister. And with every ring that happens on this phone call, you see this dude's like heart dropping a little bit more and more each time. It's just, wow.
For a while to pick up. She's got twins. You can continue. I'm gonna try to get her on the phone.
Well, if she's on the stream or listening or whatnot, I never said anything directed at you at all. When I was asked questions about you in particular, I said that around the time that Kenneth went in the military, I stopped hanging around. I didn't feel it was comfortable for me to be friends with someone that was much younger than me, and plus we didn't have shit in common, so. And that was pretty much it for our mention of you in the conversation. That's the whole messed up thing about this whole thing, is that it's like,
I mean, like you said, that's it, but we still got 5 minutes worth here, and
Yeah.
we haven't got to
Go
the
ahead.
wife
Go
stuff.
So, in response to himself accusing Jordy of being weird with his own little sister, this guy goes on to say, I didn't even contact her when I realized, man, this is a weird age gap and her older brother's away. So, that's just weird. Like, this guy has no solid response to none of these things. He dances around it, tries to like get off topic. It's you can see the look on Wings' face when he does this shit. Like when Wings is like kind of calling you out on your shit, it's bad.
What he said wasn't a fucking lie, and it was some fucking straight up inappropriate shit to be saying about your 13-year-old sister. When Kenneth went overseas,
I can't hear.
His sister reached out to me, and she was very young, and I was like, no thank you, and I stopped fucking going around. You know what I'm saying?
I mentioned it right there.
I'm not necessarily sure what the dude is saying here, but I think he's saying that Wings' little sister tried to put the moves on him when she was only 13, but he was like, no, not having none of that, which, good on you, bro, if that's the case. But this phone call is taking a lot of weird turns. I don't know who they're trying to expose here, this guy or Wings.
So
that was when they asked me about
around that time is whenever all of that shit happened. It was right before that Jordy got booted to his grandmother's house over whatever the fuck happened there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody confirms or denies what the real reason behind it was, but my mother, who's his mother's best friend.
The way the video made it sound is I did something to my younger sister
and got booted from the house. I listened to the video when you sent it to me.
Yeah,
it's all.
That's not true at all.
No,
like I started living with my grandparents at the age of 5.
Well, you were with your mom.
I got started living with my grandparents at the age of 5. Like when you came over to play Mortal Kombat, we were at my grandparents' house.
I didn't recall because I said it was a long ass freaking time ago.
So now the dude says in the call that Wings was booted from his house and he had to go live with his grandma because of the rumors going around. I guess he's saying that Wings made that inappropriate comment on PKA and is saying that, like, his sister was only 13 at the time. It was a weird thing, so his family kicked him out of the house. But Wings points out that he only moved into his grandma's house when he was 5 years old. So unless Wings is like a 5-year-old creeper, I don't know if this is... And the dude's reaction to this is just, it's priceless. He's like, oh, well, I see. Like... when we're making a video entirely dedicated to defending Wings, you fucked up bad, buddy.
I've been living with my grandparents since 5 because my mother had me when she was really young.
Right.
And she kind of like passed time between my mother and my grandparents, and I ended up liking being with my grandparents more.
Gotcha.
So they just let me stay with my grandparents.
This is such an awkward watch because you can tell that Wings knows the dude's full of shit. And even when he says little things like, I moved into my grandma's house at 5, the guy's like, oh, yeah, cool. All right, awesome. Like, he's just trying to agree with everything Wings says so that Wings will maybe say, all right, you get out of here, and he can run for the fucking hills.
I mean, like, everybody but Kenneth did. Like, Taylor did the same way. Like, Taylor was mainly stay with grandma more than mama as well. I'm trying to wait on see if Taylor wants to give this call. But you see how bad that sounds,
yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Oh yeah. When I watched the video, I was fucking mortified. I'm like, this is a fucking hatchet job.
So let me ask you this question: why did you agree to speak with these people anyway?
It wasn't necessarily an agreement to speak with them. They offered me money to come over here with a video camera and all kinds of stuff, and I told them I wasn't absolutely comfortable with that.
But you agreed to sit 4 hours and talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like that. It was just 4 people in there, and they were talking with me about all kinds of different shit. It wasn't, like I said, maybe an hour and a half of the whole 4-hour conversation was even about you or regarding you.
So the dude understands that, yes, this sounds incredibly terrible, but he's, telling Wings, this is a hatchet job. They've taken everything out of context. And, like Wings says, and it's a very good point, why did you spend 4 hours talking to these dudes? The dude gives the classic response that Wings has heard so many times, which is, look, they promised me money. How many times have people told Wings in COD lobbies the people promised them money for killing Wings in the game? So maybe this dude is tight on cash and thought, hey, I can go make some serious scratch by sitting down in front of a camera and talking about Wings, but he wasn't really comfortable sitting in front of a camera. But I guess sitting on a call and talking to these dudes is the same thing. To this guy, though, his big concern is, look, they recorded me without my permission. Not that, yeah, I sat on a 4-hour call, and we only spent an hour and a half talking about you, Jordy. Like, calm down, dude. Fucking relax.
And it was just, you know what I'm saying? They asked me these questions, and I know why now, because they were trying to get me to fall into some type of bullcrap. Look, I'll say this before even going further. Anything said in this video, I did not agree to be recorded, for one thing.
Well, first off, South Carolina's a one-party state.
Yeah.
And you live in South Carolina, so there's nothing
Right, so there's nothing I can do
about
but
that.
That being said, and I also didn't know I was being recorded time either.
Yeah, homeboy is really trying to push that Wings, you know, we should really be concerned about these dudes recording me without my knowledge because, you know, if they didn't record me, you would have never known I said all this shit about you. It's like I said, that's the one thing here where, like, the dude, he's trying to pull any type of card he can get to get out of this situation.
Well, the front of the video states that you did consent to recording.
I know, I seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. The whole time the dude consented to recording at the beginning of this video, and like he even just says it flat out, like, oh yeah, you know what, I did do that, after constantly talking about how he didn't give his permission, how like that's a big deal. Like this dude is all over the place.
That very beginning part should have been my clue to this whole fucking thing. Such a bull.
Let's go on.
I'm assuming wouldn't
stuff.
tell me a lie about it. Of a lot of this, like I said, a lot of the shit that he had said in the past when we were kids and shit jives a lot with some of the shit that he says now. And back in the day, I chalked a lot of what he was saying up to, you know, he's just a dude who ain't very cool, so he has to say this shit, so we think he's cool and shit, you know? Like the kid, you know, everybody had the friend in school, or the young kid in school that was their friend that would talk shit about killing animals or shit like that. Everybody has that fucking
This
one
is me
guy
trying to
that's
defend the
just
shock
like,
jock stuff.
he's overtly creepy in a fucking ironic sense. You know what I mean? And I felt like that was what his personality was. He was just kind of saying it to say it.
About, like,
Saying stuff
And
to
then
say it.
yeah,
now with a lot of the
way you
shit he
worded it,
says
like I
when
was
he's an
constantly
adult,
being creepy about it.
No,
it-
no. I
Like,
said
it
like,
really
the way it's
fucking
worded in
kind of
the
makes
video
you think.
is like,
Okay, so this part probably has a little bit of validity to it. I can 100% believe that Wings was the type of guy to go around his high school constantly talking about killing cats and type of shit like that, talking about guns and cars and just trying to be like a, you know, a badass and not knowing that that's not really what, like, not what, I mean, maybe in the South it is, but I had kids in my high school too that were like all about war and guns and violence and like, you know, oh man, like I wish I could like blow up shit and all that, like, and they just sounded fucking creepy. And that's what this dude's saying on the call, like, yeah, we always got those creepy vibes. And then Wings even says, like, well, in the call, you if you hear Wings talking to him in the background, it's kind of annoying because both you hear the call and Wings and this guy talking at the same time. I can't do nothing about that. But Wings even says, well, you called me creepy, and the guy goes, no, just some of it was creepy, but like he's outright calling Wings out on this shit, and this I believe this.
Listen, I heard through the grapevine that
talking about, like,
the only reason
hurting animals,
that
talking about
they
saying
even
stuff
are
that
a
was, like,
thing.
like a
Get
natural
this.
part of my personality. That's the way
he
I heard it.
supposedly made a
Right.
deal with her that if she married him, he had
Again,
some property to give.
never
All
been
right,
like
This
that.
is
kind
the
of
part about
like
the
bait
wife
and
here.
switch. He didn't have shit to give, but he kind of led her to believe he did. And now they're just stuck in this like,
Alright, so
well, even if I divorce him, I won't
you can
get
stop it
shit.
now.
Now, right here, the dude knows he fucked up because he prefaces the call by saying, you know, get this. I heard that his wife is only with him because he promised her property, but now they're stuck in that house. So I can't wait to see how he gets out of this one.
Alright, so this was a scenario brought up by them they said, well, do you think that Wings' wife married him for his property or for his money or for this or for that, or that he did the other? And I was spinning on what they were saying. They said this, and this, and I was like, well, any scenario in this situation could, you know, I mean, any hypothetical could fit if you don't have any fucking knowledge of what actually is going on. So I gave my hypothetical on the shit too. Like I said, it was in conversation. This shit shouldn't have been mallyhacked and put on the freaking internet. It's dumb shit, bro.
Okay, so his way to get out of this one was by saying that, you know, we were all throwing out hypotheticals on, you know, what might be going on with your marriage. And my hypothetical was that she married you for land. So, you know, it was just a conversation and it shouldn't have never been put up on that darn internet. Once again, he's going back to this conversation should have never even been out there. So he's trying to pull the, you know, oh, you should have never even heard this anyway card, which is just the fucking worst when people pull that. They talk shit about someone, it gets revealed. Oh, well, you know, you were never even supposed to hear that anyway. And that's basically what the dude's trying to say now in certain terms. Because, like, he's just sitting there, you know, just man up. Say, yeah, you know what? I did fucking say that. The call is clearly cut up and all, but, like, these are things I don't think were taken out of context that much.
And to you, Jordy, if this shit causes any ill will between you and
I don't
your
know
wife,
what was
it's
said about
not my intentions.
It's
Talking about her marrying you for the property or whatever.
Like, how did that even come up?
They were spinballing a whole bunch of shit, saying that she married, that you and her got together for benefits, or she got with you because she thought you might get some of your property if it was early divorce. There was a bunch of shit that they were saying, and I was like, really, I don't personally know, because I really don't. I haven't seen you guys since y'all got married, besides for bumping into you at fucking Walmart.
So yeah, this is a completely different tone from him saying, you know, get this. This is what I heard. Now he's just really backtracking, saying, you know, this all this dumb shit, saying, I haven't even seen y'all since I was in Walmart, so how would I know that? Why would I say that? Even though, you know, you were just clipped saying that, in context or not, like, you would only be saying that in one context, and it would be to shit on Wings.
So I spinballed. You know, I'm said if you guys are spinballing hypotheticals, I mean, that makes just as much sense as fucking anything else if you don't know what the hell's actually going on.
So, without propagation, you told people that actively been trying to ruin my life for 5 years, that I married my wife. I got my wife to marry me by promising her land, and in return for health insurance.
I mean, I could see how it sounds out of context. It wasn't like I was trying to fucking put this shit out here on you or anything. It was just
So what land have I given her?
Nothing. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. In hypothetical situations, being what they are, if you don't know the fucking facts, it is what it is. It's just a hypothetical. They took this shit and clipped it all the hell out of context.
Yeah, homeboy is just saying anything at this point. Just, you know, Wing says, so what property did I give her? None. That's what I'm saying, right, bro? Like, right after you said, I heard that he promised her property. So, like, there's not much to say about this dude. He's just really, like, he's folding hard. And I said that at the beginning of the video, and it gets worse and worse and worse. He just keeps on folding.
They were asking me questions and putting fucking scenarios down and shit, and yeah.
Taylor doesn't want to be recorded, so my mother's gonna call.
Right.
So because Wings' sister doesn't have the time to talk about these allegations of Wings doing weird shit with her when she was young, Wings' mom is going to call and talk to this dude. So, you know, this dude's just having a really nice experience at Wings' house, not awkward at all. I'm just going to put on the record, I'm very happy I'm not old Aaron over here who decided to do this.
It's probably best, because Taylor's mad.
Right.
Hey,
Hey, you're being recorded right now, Mama, so...
no, I ain't talking to you. I ain't getting on that shit.
He's right here, you gotta talk to him.
No, I'm not getting recorded.
Can
All
you-
I know is Aaron needs to straighten it out.
I'm attempting
All these
to.
lies needs to be straightened out right now.
I'm attempting to. They clipped a whole bunch of things that were said over 4 hours out of context to make this video.
I just do not understand how they managed to trick you for 4 hours to sit there and talk shit about your neighbor down the street who you know has people going after him. So, like, I love how he just says to Wings' mom, like, this is such bullshit. They took this out of context, this whole 4 hour conversation. Like, that's all he's relying on now. It's just the out of context thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not getting trolled. I'm sick of this internet shit.
I am too. And I
Oh,
apologize. If this shit caused anybody any problems, I apologize. So, I want to let you know that.
Majority y'all, I mean, that come up between y'all, y'all need to tell it.
We are.
So, Mom,
Alright.
I got
trying
you
to figure
here.
it out.
Huh?
Did I move to my grandparents because I diddled Taylor?
No.
Yeah, no. Exactly.
No.
That's what I'm saying. They took all of this shit and clipped it out of context. They put my words in sentences all mashed up together to make this shit video.
Have I ever been inappropriate with any underage girls in your eyes?
No. Never.
That's what I'm saying.
That is not what you were saying, bro. That is the exact opposite of what you were saying.
And Tyler's never come on and wanted Aaron to leave his wife either.
No.
It's a bunch of lies.
It is.
I just got off the phone with your mom, Aaron.
I know. She talked to me.
Oh, fuck. Wings' mom called Aaron's mom. Aaron, you are fucked. Your mom is gonna snap when she hears what you said about the poor old Geordies. The Jordans. Jesus Christ. This is either like two 30-year-old men who's calling their mom saying, you know, I talked to your mother too. What a weird dynamic this is. Just what is this entire situation and how did we get here?
Yeah.
She talked to me. I told her, I was like, you know, this shit was, somebody reached out to me trying to pay me to spy on Jordy. I told them I didn't want to. I ended up in a conversation with 4 other people on the phone that day, and they asked me all kinds of stuff for 4 hours, and 90% of it wasn't even Jordy that they were talking about.
I don't know, bro. The numbers aren't adding up. That's all I got to say. You know, at the beginning you said this was only an hour and a half out of the 4-hour call, which makes it 3/8 out of the call, which makes it 37.5%. And, you know, now you're saying 90% of the call wasn't, like 90% of the call was just random shit. Like 10% was about Jordy. So, I don't know, bro. The numbers don't lie. And as a matter of fact, they spell disaster for you at Sacrifice.
And they edited all of this words together on these videos to make it seem like I came out and was exposing Jordy for some bullcrap when the whole conversation was me telling them I didn't want to take money to spy on somebody because he's a friend of the family. I even said explicitly when they first got on the phone with me, I was like, I don't want to be part of no videos. I don't want to be involved with none of this. Period. Period.
What video I saw, you were telling them as you got older, found out all that was true, that Jordy, you started staying away from Jordy. They changed your words on that too?
I mean, no, what that was the shit that happened at Domino's. And that had nothing to do with Jordy. That was the manager at Domino's. That had nothing to do with Jordy.
Bro, what? Like, what the fuck are you even saying at this point? No, he's talking about Domino's, not Jordy. Come on.
I stayed away from Jordy because I was away from Jordy. I lived in New York and North Carolina and Missouri. I mean, just wasn't freaking here. I told them that on the phone.
What about the thing with Taylor? Leave your wife when she was underage?
I never said nothing about her trying to get me to leave my wife. That was a whole other person I was talking about. Miranda?
Miranda said you told her dad at the store that Taylor wanted you to leave your wife.
No. Never said nothing like that.
So there is about still like 15 minutes of phone call left, but this video is way too long as it is, like dear God. So we're just gonna we're gonna show a little gameplay here of Wings' first title defense of the lolcow title he won the other day against Ravishing Rick Rude, and I'll give you my closing thoughts on that phone call there. First off, that dude is just he's folding all over on the phone with Wings' mom. And at one point there, I guess Wings' mom says, you know, did you talk about how Taylor, you were trying to talk to her and like something about your wife? And he just gets all fucked up and he's like, what? No, what? You're crazy. Like, no. So, like I said, I don't know what's even going on there, what type of family issues they have between each other, like what their families, how close they are. But it's so clear that this dude was probably promised money to sit down and talk about Jordy because people wanted to know about him because he had heard, you know, Jordy has like a following online, people who go after him or whatever. And, you know, he was trying to capitalize on that. And look what it's become. Now you're going to want to move because it's just going to be constantly awkward for the rest of your life. But yeah, that's that. What a shit show of a call that is. It's just more bullshit in the life of Wings. And, you know, it's fun to cover old Wings again, but just his story is so ridiculous. Now, the thing that's so crazy about this match you're seeing on screen here, ladies and gentlemen, is that it has one of the greatest endings in wrestling history. You see, Wings has the match all about wrapped up. He's given Ravishing Rick Rude the works, but Rick Rude says, Wings, actually, I win. Permanently. And the game just breaks because Ravishing Rick Rude wins so hard on Wings right there. So, what a beautiful image to close this video on. Now, when I was live streaming and this happened, I stayed on stream for about 20 more minutes and we watched this beautiful sight unfold for 20 more minutes because if you don't know, the WWE games are completely broken and this is just shit that happens. I've never seen a glitch like this before in a video game, but that's the power of Wings, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a shout out to Sky, Holly, Krabby, your mom, you guys are goats. And I want to give a shout out to anyone who watched this video all the way through. Y'all are real ones. Thank you for all your support. And yeah, if you're getting promised free money to talk about your like really documented neighbor up the street, I'd suggest, you know, not doing that unless you want to get dragged into their streaming room and put on blast in front of like all these trolls and shit, because just what a weird fucking situation. Like, why did he agree to doing this in the first place? Like, why did he agree to getting on that call with the 4 Discord dudes, and why did he agree to step in front of Wings' camera? The dude had brought up earlier that he was like he really was into YouTube and all, so maybe he's trying to like build his streaming career or whatever the fuck based off of this. I don't know, man. It's a really weird situation here, but yeah, Wings can't even trust his own neighbors now because everyone's turning against old Wingo. And I think Wings needs to just sit back, relax, put his legs up like you see in the video, and just embrace life, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to get out of here. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Spark one up. Just have a chill rest of your day and be kind to each other, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.